I can't say enough about Dan. If I make a wish, Dan makes it happen. All the way from bubble machines to dry ice smoke to black lights in the rafters, everything I ask for, Dan makes it happen. So I'm just so grateful to him and his team as well.
Welcome to Steps to the Stage, Inland Empire, where we talk to the community theater professionals from the vibrant Inland Empire theater community. Hey, theater friends, welcome to Steps to the Stage, where we talk to the theater professionals that you know and love. Today is one of our Inland Empire editions, and we're really excited to have back on the show Melissa, who's been with us before, and also Marissa, who is a first-time guest. But what I'm really excited about is this is a theater that I really didn't have a lot of information on. So I'm excited to learn about the Junior University Theater and also to talk about your upcoming production of SpongeBob SquarePants the Musical. So we're going to head on down to Bikini Bottom right now, and we are going to have ourselves a good time and learn about this new production that is coming up, opening on July 10th. Coming up real quick. So we want to make sure that we get some good information out there to all the people so that we can get some new theater patrons out to your lovely theater. And I've done a little research. We're going to talk a little bit about SpongeBob first, and then we'll go into the Junior University side of it. But this is a production that premiered in June 2016 at the Oriental Theater in Chicago. And then its Broadway debut was at the Palace Theater in December of 2017, nominated for 12 Tonys with a win in the Best Scenic and tons of other awards and accolades. Unfortunately, this little world pandemic thing came around and kind of, put a bit of we'll say a speed bump into this particular production. But book is by Kyle Giroux, and Melissa, who's been on our program before, is the director. The show dates are July 10th through the 19th, and San Manuel Performing Arts Center. And if I get anything wrong, you guys, just correct me. It's all good. I want to get all the correct information. But also with us today is Marissa, who is on the board. And Marissa, we just love to know, because this is kind of a new theater for us at Steps to the Stage, and we're really trying to promote community theater all across the Inland Empire. So we're really excited to find out that there's more theaters out there, and by looking at some of your socials and your websites, it sounds like you guys are pretty active and have a really good program out there. So tell us a little bit more about it, Marissa.
Well, Junior University has been around since 1963.
Wow.
We originally performed a summer production every summer at the Paris Hill Bowl. And that was up until just before COVID. Unfortunately, because of it being an outdoor theater and a lot of, specs and just safety for the actors, we eventually had to move to the Performing Arts Center. But when we moved, we did lose a lot of our community because people thought we just left. But
yes.
Fortunately, we are now in a wonderfully air-conditioned theater. We're no longer outside and not having to wear ice packs on our backs so that the performers can perform safely in the middle of summer. But this is our annual production that we do every single year.
That's fantastic. And I mean, great to hear that it has such a rich and long history. And we understand the struggles. Obviously, I think a lot of the theaters went through some difficulties during that time, and we lost some really good theaters in our local area. But I'm really glad to see that so many of the theaters now are really starting to find their voice again, I think is a good way to say it. And we really appreciate you coming on and giving us some information, and we'll give some more details at the end. And of course, in our show notes, where we'll put some links to your website and how to get tickets and everything else. And then definitely what we need to do is make sure is get on your list before next year's production and make sure we can do do an episode earlier and get the
Oh,
word out there.
absolutely.
So fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Marissa. And I'm sure we're going to have a couple other questions as we go along, but I want to talk to Melissa, our good friend Melissa. She's been on the pod several times before and has a long, rich history as well in the theater community. And she is taking on SpongeBob, which is a beloved character and a beloved program. I remember clearly when my kids were young, spending hours watching and just laughing and doing the voices and just not getting enough of it. So it's so exciting to see this come on stage. But wow, what an undertaking, I must imagine. But I'm going to stop talking because I have a habit of doing too much of that. And I'll let Melissa give us some insights into this wonderful upcoming production of SpongeBob SquarePants the Musical.
Well, first of all, Kirk, thank you so much for having us and squeezing us in to your already busy pod schedule. We really appreciate you highlighting all of the community theaters in the Inland Empire. Uh, Junior University is a little bit unique in that we have a history, but we have not been performing licensed material for very long. We started as an organization that was founded by William and Patsy Dixon, and William Dixon wrote all original material. And so when they were performing outdoors, it was all original, storytelling of our favorite fairy tales, but usually with a Dixon twist. And so since we've moved to the Performing Arts Center, we've started looking at licensed work. And the SpongeBob Musical is, I think, the fifth in our series since we've come back from COVID. So really thrilled to be putting together this show. It is a huge undertaking. We have a cast of over 50, and we
Wow.
say we say that we range from ages 9 to 99. So one of the beauties of this production is that we have families participating in this show. We have mothers that are on stage with their children, brothers and sisters, folks that have been a part of Junior University since they were, very young, who are now young adults and acting in our lead roles. Our stage crew is made up of folks that have, been involved on stage and off for a really long time. So one of the things I really love about directing for this organization is that, family feel. We really create an environment that is based in learning. We consider ourselves an educational theater group, and so it's really about these kids getting in and having the opportunity to learn from some of these older alumni who have experience to share. So it's really, really been a beautiful experience to direct this show. Like you said, SpongeBob is so familiar to so many. Um, and people love it for all different reasons. I hear kids say that they grew up watching it and it means a lot to them. It's nostalgic in their childhood. And then I hear parents like you say, well, I watched it with my kids and it was funny to me too, right? Because it was really made for all audiences. And I think the same is true of the SpongeBob Musical. It continues on that legacy of really being built for everyone, in so much as the score is written and composed by different composers. Every song is written by a different pop artist. And so we
Oh,
have this
wow.
feel that's very eclectic, very fun, and very much a throwback to that nostalgic cartoon that we're also used to. There's a story of friendship, the power of, what folks can do if they pour their skills together to accomplish something. So there's really something in it for everyone, even if, maybe you weren't the biggest fan of the cartoon. This is a really wholesome, fun story that I think everybody can get behind.
And I'm just, you have no idea. I've actually got goosebumps just hearing about not only that size of the cast, but the family and being on stage together and just all the different experiences that can bring out. And having now been involved myself personally for a little over a decade in community theater and experiencing that a little bit with my own family and now some of my lifelong friends that are a part of the theater community and going and seeing their productions. And I just, and then also knowing the long history of of the organization, and that you have so many people that are back and are, as Marissa talked about, like bringing that whole energy back, which we absolutely need. We've talked about this on the other podcast before, Melissa, about how important art is right now. And, I'm going to do a little side thing because you and I had a great text exchange yesterday about the World Cup going on and just how that is something that brings people together, right? And when things maybe aren't
Yes.
just feeling great, you can see all these people get together from different parts of the world, and yeah, they're coming and they're supporting their team, but more importantly, they're celebrating the cultures, the music, the food. They're learning about our culture, our food. And I think community theater really gives an opportunity for that as well. And
Yeah.
just to have people to get on stage and to be able to perform and send that message out is just, it's delightful. It's just magical. It's what I think SpongeBob embodies, and what I always felt every time that I was around any type of, whether it was a production or whether you're walking around, Hollywood or Times Square, and you see someone in a SpongeBob costume, and you smile. You smile right away. It's really difficult not to. 50 cast members. You said you've got music coming from a variety of different pop influences and writers. I want to know a little bit more about this actual theater because unfortunately we weren't able to get our schedules together that I can come out and visit it and see it. But I'd love to know more about it, and I'd love to know more about its capacity. It's how is it built up for theater? How are you adapting, or is it just perfect for theater?
Man, this house that we have the distinct opportunity to share with Aquinas High School is state of the art. It's the most beautiful performing arts center you could imagine, all the way down to, turned wood acoustic paneling along the ceiling. There's fly space. It's really more than we could ever ask for. It was an adjustment, though, for our technical folks to move everything that they knew from outside to inside a performing arts center. And so, we're still sort of adjusting to that. And adjusting means buying new equipment and looking at new ways of doing things that this particular organization hasn't necessarily been a party to. They never had fly space outside, right, where we could fly set pieces in from the ceiling and things like that. And so
Mm.
it's been a delight to work in this theater. This is my fourth summer with JU, but I had the pleasure of working in the Performing Arts Center when it was brand new. It was built from a grant from the San Manuel Band of Indians in partnership with the Catholic Diocese on the Aquinas High School campus in San Bernardino.
Oh,
And then the
wonderful.
junior university share a partnership with Aquinas High School through a memo of understanding to share their space. And so we're eternally grateful for that partnership. It gives us a space big enough to house not only a 50 cast member production, but also all of the audience members and family members that come along with that. And Marissa, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the house seats just under 300. It's a pretty decent sized auditorium as well.
Yes, that's correct. It's actually 312, but some of the seats were removed for the handicap spaces. So you are correct.
That's great. And I'm sure it has a nice little walk-up box office and maybe a place for if you have, merchandise or if you have
Yes.
snacks and food and everything
Amazing
else. And
Oh,
concession
yes.
stand.
oh, that's wonderful.
Marissa runs our concessions and our lobby. And I have to tell you, Kirk, I compete with them set design to lobby design because they are just doing the work out there. As soon as you step into that lobby, you are stepping fully into Bikini Bottom. And there are a plethora of opportunities for you to purchase merchandise and food items that, of course, support this beautiful nonprofit organization.
Oh, that's so fantastic. And we talk a lot about on our other episodes how, when you go into a theater, you really kind of want to step away from what's going on and you want to go into Bikini Bottom. You want to go into whatever that production is. And when you have your house team that's just setting the mood as you walk in, it just feels so great. You already start getting excited about what you're about to, witness on stage. So I love to hear that. And if I can ask both of you, if you guys could send me some pictures so that I could put that on our social media, that would be absolutely fantastic. Because I usually like to come and be there face to face so that I can see the space. And unfortunately, with scheduling, we weren't able to do that. So we do apologize to everyone. But I thought it was really important. Melissa and some people from her team reached out and asked if they could do an episode, and we were able to get it in right before you guys open. So I'm going to be editing this one tonight and getting it out to the world, and hopefully getting some more people to experience what sounds like an amazing theater. But especially what I like to hear from you guys is the partnership within the community, right?
Yes.
Not only the San Manuel Band of Mission of Indians, but also the high school that has given up that space for that. But I'm sure they benefit from it as well. But and we just love to hear that, because we also do another series that we call Drama Department, where we go and talk to local high school theater drama departments, and it's just all things theater for us. And so I love to hear that, and I love to hear not only the partnership, but I love to hear that it's just a beautiful venue. And so please send me some pictures so that we can put that on our social media. So, Melissa, tell me a little bit more about some of your team and the people that are helping you put this all together, because I have to imagine with a cast of that size and a production that has worldwide renowned, you need to have some strong people with you to help you carry this vision out.
Oh, absolutely. I am supported by a strong arts committee that is a part of the board of directors at Junior University, as well as an outstanding production team. I have Michaela Ruiz as my vocal director and Alyssa Chavarria as my choreographer. I have Hannah Schramm as my stage manager, and I love theater because you get to reunite with people over and over again that are just the best people through this work. And Hannah is someone I met, probably 10 years ago working on a show, and I was able to invite her back to stage manage here with us on this production. So between the four of us, we've really, taken the lead and guided this cast toward the show that you will see. I have just the most talented technical director. His name is Dan Herman. I can't say enough about Dan. If I make a wish, Dan makes it happen, all the way from bubble machines to dry ice smoke to black lights in the rafters. Everything I ask for, Dan makes it happen. So I'm just so grateful to him and his team as well. We have John Perez, who's Marissa's son, as well as Zach McConnell, another alum, working on set design. We were able to purchase a set part and parcel from Charter Oak Academy, which is a performing arts school in Covina. So our work has just really been making that fit our stage and dressing it up to make it fit, some of the blocking that we have with this very large cast. Really excited to get to work with some really talented actors as well. I have Max Montori as SpongeBob SquarePants. So this is my first time working with Max on stage. I've worked with Max through Elevate a couple of times, but just delighted to be able to see them on stage. They light everything up, supported by Miranda Areola and Elias Barba as Sandy Cheeks and Patrick Starr, Justin Del Rowe as Squidward, Tentacles. Just delighted to see him in that role. He's just perfect. So just having a great time with these folks, and it's really fun to be able to bring in some of my more seasoned community actor friends to
Yeah.
work with these kids, these students, these learners of theater arts to be able to, like, who better to learn character acting than
Yeah.
from Justin, right?
Right.
So just thrilled to be working with this team.
Yeah, and it was really nice. I've been following a little bit of the social media, and then when we were able to connect and be able to set this up. Of course, I did my deep dive, and Marissa, you guys are just doing a great job with your social media and coming up with just some great. I mean, every single cast member has their own placard that has gone out on social media. And everyone out there, please follow them. They have a great Facebook page, Instagram. They also have a website. So please follow them, support them. And of course, buy your tickets, which is
Absolutely.
very, very important. So great job, Marissa, to you and your team for embracing what we need to do. I mean, you got to promote and you got to get the word out there, and social media, has its drawbacks, but it also has amazing outreach, and I think you guys have done a great job. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that so much. And again, like Melissa said, thank you for highlighting Junior University and allowing us the space of time to just get the word out.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, everyone, tickets are available online and they're at their website, which is junioruniversitytickets.org. And I'm going to give the phone number as well. They can call in for tickets, yes? Or is it
Yes.
all online?
It's primarily online, but if someone needs to make a phone call for tickets, we will make those arrangements.
Great. And that number is area code 909-619-3819. As mentioned before, they have a great Facebook page, Instagram, that has links to all of the areas that we talked about. Your opening night is this Friday, and these are 7 p.m. for the evening performances and 2 p.m. for your matinees. And again, this is based out in the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians Performing Arts Center. It is in San Bernardino, and lots of great information and pricing and everything else on the website. So get out there, get your tickets, follow them on all the socials, everyone as well. That's really important. I'll do our little steps to the stage plug here. Reviews are really important, you guys. Put some reviews on your podcast feed. Rate us, give us that 5-star rating if you like what you're hearing. Go to our Facebook page and give us a rating. That's how we get into the algorithms. That's how we get out there. That's how we get more and more people to follow us. We are very lucky in our 5+ years of existence. We've got a very robust audience in the Inland Empire, but it goes all around the world. We've just recently hit 99 different countries. So to put that in perspective,
Nice.
I don't know the total number, but I think we have 200 countries in the world, and we've hit 50% of them.
Yes.
So if you're out there, you're in a different country, and you've got a viable theater program, we'd love to hear from you. We've talked to some people in Australia, we've talked to people in England, so please do what you can to support in that regard. It really helps. Go to the website, call, get your tickets, go and see this absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful production. And I say that from the deepest realms of my heart, because there are definitely wonderful, wonderful people that love theater, community, family, putting this art out there for you to enjoy your life and experience it in a manner that you really can't get from any other source other than going into a theater and seeing live theater. I don't care if it's your kid's kindergarten production or if you are on Broadway watching the Tony Award winning best production. Theater is just something that really can change your life. So, Marissa, Melissa, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you giving us some great insight into your wonderful program, Junior University Musical Theater, as well as the SpongeBob SquarePants Musical that is opening up on July 10th. So get your tickets. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirk. This is the best theater podcast out there. Thanks so much for having us.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Steps to the Stage Inland Empire. Follow us on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a 5-star rating and a review. It really helps. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or visit our website. Steps to the Stage was created by Joey Rice and Kirk Lane. Logo created by Marley Lane. Original music by Joey Rice. Executive producer, editor, and sometimes host, Kirk Lane.